Hey guys, just thought it'd been about almost 3 years now since we finished the pool, and it's time for a bit of an update video as to how it's going. In general, you can see it's going really well. It's in fact gone much better than I was expecting. The pool has stayed crystal clear. The plants have continued to grow. They've grown up, we've thinned them, they've grown up, we've thinned them. Right now it's a really nice time, as you can see. We've even got some really beautiful flowers that are out. So in general, it's gone much better than I was expecting. And I thought I would take the opportunity to answer a whole heap of questions that came from the first video, and also to talk a little bit about the future and some other aspects that we didn't cover off in the first video. The first thing I want to address is there was a lot of feedback around it's not a natural pool, and it certainly isn't a natural pool in the sense that it's not naturally occurring in the ground with rocks and a stream and things like that. But the thing that is natural about the pool is the filtration system. It's completely natural. So when we talk about a natural pool or an organic pool, this is not natural in the sense that it is man-made, for sure. There's a lot of man-made here. The natural part, as I say, is the filtration, and it's that filtration that makes it feel so nice to swim in, and it feels like you're swimming in a mountain stream because the filtration part is the natural part. So I just want to clarify that. The other big thing that came up is mosquitoes, and I can give you 100% certainty that there are no mosquitoes. And David Pagan Butler actually has a really good video on his channel that talks to the probable reasons why there's no mosquitoes, and I would agree with him, and that is to do with the moving water. So you can see the water is moving a lot in the main pool. That's an obvious one. In fact, if we put some floaties on there, they'll quickly move along. So there's so much movement in the main pool, and even in the IBCs, the water is constantly moving around. So I can only assume that that's what causes us to not get mosquitoes. Of course, we do have mosquitoes in our area. We have lots of mosquitoes in our area, and if we have some dead water in our backyard, we will get mosquitoes. So it's not as if we don't have mosquitoes, but I can assure you that as far as the actual organic pool is concerned, we've had literally zero mosquitoes at all. There was also feedback around this, and forgive the pronunciation, Naegleria fowlera, which is like a brain-eating amoeba. And so we have done a lot of research into that, and we can report that the temperatures that the pool runs at, even in the peak of summer, is less than the temperatures required for that pathogen. So we don't have that. We've actually put temperature sensors in the pool, and to record the temperature of the pool over the seasons and over the days that are hot and cold, and it runs cooler than that. So whilst we are in a hot climate, we're not really in a hot climate. We're not in the tropics, we're in the subtropics, and so we do run it cooler, even in the peak of summer and the hot days. That is required for those pathogens, so there's no issue there. Then to the topic of algae. So yes, we do still get a little bit of algae. So we do not get single cellular algae, so the water is always crystal clear. That's never a concern, so never any single cellular algae. We do get some string algae, and that mostly grows on the top edge of the pool and around, and you can sort of see some starting to form there around the outlets. Just a little bit of green on the top edge there. That's on my wife is highlighting there. In the main pool, we do a scrape down of that manually, probably every couple of weeks. The robot, the pool robot we've got, does a great job of picking up things that do get to the bottom of the pool. But for whatever reason, it doesn't do the waterline very well. The string algae, a little bit of string algae that does grow on the waterline, isn't very hard to get off. So I'm not sure why the pool robot can't handle it. We are looking at alternatives to test. Certainly, if you could get a pool robot that did do top level waterline, would be much better. We also get a little bit of string algae in the IBCs, and certainly when we scrape down the pool, the string algae does make its way back to the IBCs, and when we do the thinning of plants, which my wife does a very good job of, she will pull out the string algae from there as well. It's not much, it's only a little bit. Certainly when we do pull the plant matter out of the IBCs, we pull way more of the actual plants out that have grown, that are consuming the nutrient than the string algae. So there's a little bit, and it's certainly not enough for us to worry about. The other thing is, you might remember I had a drink from the pool. I'm still happy with that decision. Certainly not something that I do all the time, but it's certainly totally fine. In fact, we paid for a very expensive, detailed test of the water across not just heavy metals, but biology, everything, from a water testing company in Newcastle, nearby where we live. And we actually compared that to our bore water, and our tank water, and our filtered tank water. And we sent that off, and I can assure you that the water quality is pristine. So there's 0 fecal coliforms, 0 E. coli, and the biology is very, very healthy. So we paid for that water test. Happy to link it in the video if I can remember to do that, and you guys can, if you're interested, download the water test that we did as well. Coming to the maintenance required, so how much does it take to maintain this compared to a regular pool? Well, we've never had a regular pool, so it's hard for us to say how much it takes to maintain it compared to a regular pool, but I would estimate that we manually scrape down the string algae that comes every couple of weeks. It probably is only about a 15-minute job. It's not too difficult, and as I say, I think with a better pool robot we can automate that side of it. So that's kind of the more regular side. And then on the plants, I would say probably every month or 2 months, probably in winter less, probably in winter every 2 to 3 months, and in summer probably every sort of 4 to 6 weeks. We remove plant material from the IBCs as they fill up, as the plants grow to consume the nutrients. And I'd say it's probably about an hour's job. So in summer, probably about an hour a month, 4 to 6 weeks, and then in winter, every 2 months. So it's a little bit, but we certainly think that amount of maintenance is well justifies the experience that we sort of get. So that's about what you can expect from a maintenance perspective. Excuse me. In terms of what we have changed since the video was done, and the design about how it works, there's been one fairly fundamental change which has made things a lot better, and that is that in the video, in the original design, we had the bubble pumps over here which draw water from the bottom of the IBCs, and they would be drawing. So this is the same. So the bubble pumps are still drawing the water from the bottom of the IBCs, and in the original design, we had gravity feeding the water, so that would create a differential height in the water level between the pool and the water level in the IBCs, and that would mean that the water would naturally flow back. What that meant is that some IBCs were filtering more than others. It was a little bit imbalanced because of the slowness in the gravity to feed the water back. So what we've actually done is we've put a pull system on the IBCs as well, and so you can actually see. See now we actually have bubbles coming in each of the IBCs, and so all we did there was we added some little 3D printed, which we designed ourselves, some little 3D printed air injectors excuse me, that went into the standoffs, and put a little bit of air on each IBC, so it's actually drawing the water through, and that also keeps the water that's in the top of the IBCs aerated as well, and that's increased the quality of the water that you see in the IBCs. It's also increased the flow rate returning to the IBCs and the consistency of the volume of water coming into each of the IBCs. So certainly if I was doing this again, we would be doing the same sort of thing, where we use air to both draw from the IBCs into the pool, but also drawing it back from the pool into the tops of the IBCs. You'll also see another thing we've done is we've put UV stable shade cloth on the IBCs, because the IBCs are made of plastic that's not UV stable, and we want them to last a long time. So we've added that and that was certainly in the comments as well. We've also experimented with scheduling the pump. So previously we were running it 24 hours a day. We found that at least during winter, we can run it for 8 hours a day just during the sunlight and save running it for the full 24 hours. So we can actually run it a lot less. And even in summer, we're going to experiment with that as well. We think that we can run it for just during the daylight hours to align when we're generating, and then have the bubble pump off. So significantly less power, even though it's not much power to run 24 hours a day. Finally, just a comment on the roadmap, where we're going next with it. Really the only thing that we're looking at doing is automating the testing. So it was very nice to have the full water quality test, not just temperature and pH, but biology and a number of other metrics come on the test. And the research I've done indicates that a lot of that we can actually get and automate. So we're big on our home automation systems with Home Assistant here, and so on the roadmap is automating the full water quality testing so that we can continue to have continuous confidence around that. Of course, you can see that it looks good, and we can pay for tests ongoing, but to have that automated would be nice as well. So thanks again. They're all the questions. That's the maintenance. That's sort of where we're going and the changes we've done. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks again to David. Again, we're really stoked with the result. It couldn't be performing better than we had hoped for. And where we live right now, I know that the Northern Hemisphere is going into winter, but we're coming into summer and we're looking forward to something that's for a while. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.